Lucian Vybz, the Caribbean tidal wave, repping our cultural raves and our Creole heritage. So much swag, my people, yeah, you know it feels like advantage.
Repping our rise and grind, yeah, I know you wanna see it. Come here, my girl, let me give you a little bikini dance and sing as everybody come along and help me sing this one.
Alright, welcome to another episode of Lucian Vybz with your boy Lep Shizzle. First off, I'd like to say happy birthday, St. Lucia. 34 years. Come on, long way. Make me proud. Make me proud. Alright, so today, for this episode, we're gonna be celebrating independence and learning about our country. We're gonna be chilling at the National Archives with my girl Erica, and she's gonna be teaching us basically stuff about St. Lucia leading up to independence, after independence, some important stuff that we should know. Alright, so let's go over to Erica, and as usual we have an action-packed show for you, so stay tuned. You're going to be learning and you're going to be having fun also. Alright, your boy Lep Shizzle, Lucian Vybz, stay tuned.
So much swag, my people, yeah, you know it feels like advantage.
This is Melissa, my sister from another brother, and she's going to be taking us through this episode. She's going to be teaching us some stuff. What kind of stuff are we going to be learning today?
Well, since we're into independence, we're going to go through what makes us truly and uniquely St. Lucian. So whenever you see these things, you know that it belongs to St. Lucia. So that's the special things about St. Lucia.
Quick example.
Like the coat of arms, that's our national symbols. That's what we're going to be doing.
So we're going to be seeing some more of that stuff. Alright, so Melissa is going to walk us through. We're going to go over to the archive, the National Portrait Gallery. Alright.
The flag right there. This is, as you may all see, this is the national flag of St. Lucia. This is one of the things that makes us uniquely St. Lucian, as I said. Once you see this flag, you know you're talking about a 758. You're talking about St. Lucia right there. And this flag is just not any flag that anybody pick up. This flag was designed by Dunstan St. Omer, and he designed it for Associated Statehood, and that was in 1967, and this flag was kept for independence. And that flag you're looking at there right now was the original flag that was flown at independence on February 22nd, 1979. For real. Yes, so that flag older than you.
Mad flag, 34-year-old flag. But honestly, it looks really different from what we have now, because you could actually see the different pieces of cloth actually sewn in.
So it's not any flag that was painted. That was the flag that was the original flag. That was it. That was the flag. You understand? So the flag, as I said, was designed by Dunstan St. Omer, and I'd like to highlight the blue on that flag, because I'm seeing all kinds of color of blue, but this is the color of the flag is cerulean blue, not the baby blue that you like. I know you love the baby blue very much. So this is the cerulean blue, and the cerulean blue on the flag, it represents the sky, the tropical sky and the sea, but it also means fidelity. So it has a meaning. Then we go on to the gold. As you can see, the beautiful gold, it represents the prevailing sunshine of the Caribbean, and it also means prosperity. Now the black and the white, you can see there is more black, and the little white means the black and white people that make up St. Lucia. That was the indigenous, the people of St. Lucia. We are a mixture of black and white people, and that's who we are. The flag also has a triangle shape. And the triangle shape reflects the pitons, which, you know, is something that makes us St. Lucia. Once you see the piton, you know, it's St. Lucia you're talking about. So the triangle shape reflects the beautiful pitons rising out of the blue sea and towards the blue sky.
Alright, so it's not just about a triangle Right. It actually tells a story.
Story, and that's the story behind the flag that makes us St. Lucia. So whenever you see that, you know St. Lucia.
The first flag. Nice.
The coat of arms. That is another thing that makes us uniquely St. Lucian. Now, this coat of arms right there was the coat of arms that was adopted at statehood in 1967. And y'all will keep hearing me say statehood. Statehood just means that we were under Mother England, and she gave us a little leeway, so we would handling our internal affairs, but she was still in charge of our external affairs. So 1967, they give us like a little freedom to try and handle our affairs. So this was the coat of arms that was designed for statehood. It was designed by Sidney Bagshore. And when we became independent in 1979, it was modified to become the coat of arms it is today. Now, the coat of arms is not just a picture, like some people say that's just a picture on the directory or a picture on something. The coat of arms also has meaning, just like all the other emblems of nationhood. First, the coat of arms, we have the different parts. As you can see, it's a mixture of pictures put together. So these here would be the Tudor rose that represents Mother England. These two are the fleur-de-lis, which represent France. In the middle here, we have the African stool, which represents Africa. On top here, right on top, we have a torch, which is a beacon of the light. So the light is right on the top, lighting our path. On the two sides, we have the Amazon versicolor, which is our national bird. On the bottom, we have our motto, which is the land, the people, the light. That was beautifully put together by Sidney Bagshore to give us our coat of arms. The coat of arms is used as the official seal of the government of St. Lucia. So when the government sends out correspondence, whatever the official seal, the coat of arms.
What you're going to be doing now is bringing in the whole fashion scene and mixing it up with the independent scene. And I'm chilling here with a fashion designer, a young fashion designer. She goes by the name of Kelly. Kelly, how are you doing today?
I'm good, and you?
I'm well. Alright, so Kelly's going to be telling us about her herself as a fashion designer, and she's going to then tell us about some of the designs that she came up with. So Kelly, tell us about you and how you got into the whole fashion design thing.
Okay. I started fashion designing a year ago at school. I did home economics and clothing and textiles, and then the interest grew, so I decided to draw sketches and draw outfits, and then learn how to sew so I could put a masterpiece together.
Can you draw a house plan?
No.
That's right. Okay, so how do you use that talent to say benefit you? I mean, right now it's benefiting St. Lucia because we have all the independence colors and everything mixed up in there. But how do you use it to benefit you?
Well, when people see my work, they would like it and they would place an order, especially for our independence activities. They could have the independence wear, maybe for school or for work or for any event they're having.
Alright, so do you usually use the seasons like now we're Independence, Valentine's, Shuniqua? Do you usually do lines?
Yes, I do.
Alright, so Kelly, anyone out there who would like to rock their independence wear, or maybe some season later on, how would they find you?
Well, they could check us out on Facebook at Fashion Craze Designs by Kelly Imbert, or they could contact me personally 285-5759, or they could email fashioncrazedesigns@hotmail.com.
Okay, alright, so now just tell us about some of the lines that we have here. What are we looking at? Just go ahead and just point them out and tell us.
Okay, well, this is kind of like formal and evening wear, like you could wear to go to a dinner, or you could wear to go to work. If you want it with straps, you could have straps to go to work. And this here is just a piece for an activity. Maybe if you're going out, you could wear the bandeau top and the skirt. The skirt can also be worn with another top if it's for school. Yeah. And we have this here that's perfect for school because it's a top with the skirt. And this dress is also evening wear.
Okay, so we have evening wear and we have formal wear.
Yes.
Right. Anything else you could do with uh, the seasons, maybe casual or whatnot?
Yes, I can do casual, swimsuits, everything.
Okay, and I saw one of your shows the other day, and you also do the whole recycling and whatnot.
Yes, I do. So I do creative outfits as well
Okay,
for
alright.
any shows, upcoming events.
Alright, versatile. Well, when you can join House Plan, I'll check you back.
We're at the anthem. And you know, we all learn the anthem from time we're little. From time we're small, we learn Sons and Daughters of St. Lucia. Well, that is another thing that makes us uniquely St. Lucia. Every country has its anthem. So ours the words were written by Father Charles Jess, who was a Catholic priest. He wrote the words, and the music was put together by Sir Lytton Thomas. The two came together and they gave us a unique anthem. And the anthem should be played prior to some of the times when the anthem should be played, prior to the commencement of any public function or performances or events. Sometimes you go to a show and you hear they say, let's all stand for the anthem. It is not out of place. It just unites us as St. Lucians. When they tell you to sing the anthem, you should stand at attention. You should take off your cap. I know you love your cap. You should take off your cap and stand at attention, even if mosquitoes biting you, but you should still stand at attention. And another time that the anthem is played is to salute the entrance of the Governor General, who is the head of state. So when she's coming into a function, we all stand at attention and we sing the national anthem. We're moving on to the national pledge. Now, the national pledge, I know a lot of people don't know it. You know it? Well, the national pledge is just you reaffirming yourself as a St. Lucian. So our national pledge, well, the original pledge is not what we use today. The original pledge actually was quite similar, if not the same, to the national pledge of Jamaica. So right now, in Jeff Pele, the late Jeff Pele, Jeff Elver, you know as Pele, the Calypsonian, he gave us a unique national pledge, and it was adopted on the Cabinet Conclusion number 895 of 2002. And the national pledge simply says, with God as my guide, I pledge allegiance to my country, St. Lucia. I proclaim that I will serve my country with pride and dignity and will defend it with vigor and valor in the pursuit of excellence with justice and equality for all.
Let's see, what else do we have?
Well, we have our national flowers. And our national flowers as the symbols of the two flower societies in St. Lucia. You know in St. Lucia we have the Lawas and the La Marguerite. Well, those are our national flowers, and they're flower societies in St. Lucia. They're kind of like rivals, because when they're doing their seances and whatever, the songs are kid at poking jokes at each other and whatever. So that's what our national flowers represent.
Did they ever fight like physical?
No. It was more like a dance battle or a singing, a freestyle competition.
Mad dance battle. Thing like that, right?
They were doing the cultural dances to say who can do the best quadrille and who can do it. You understand, things like that.
No floor moves of b-boy or break.
We didn't have these things in those times.
Alright.
We're moving on to the national plants. Our national plant is the bamboo. And they said it is hard to break a bamboo. The bamboo will bend and bend and bend, but very hard to break. So I'm thinking that's more like the people of St. Lucia. We had to break. No matter what comes our way, we still will bend, but then we'll stand up straight again. So that's the bamboo. Our national tree is the calabash. And the calabash tree is used for a number of the calabash tree has a number of different uses. The calabash fruit itself. We don't eat it, but out of it we can make household utensils. Like they make the kui, which is a calabash bowl. They can make cups, they can make little things to carry things in, little craft items and stuff like that. So that's our national tree. So the national bird is the Amazona versicolor. And it has very bright colors, just like the people of St. Lucia. You know, we're colorful, we're flavorful, That's the people of St. Lucia. So that's our national bird. And at one time, our national bird was actually on the verge of extinction. We would have no more Amazon vesicle, but a group of zoologists and people from the Ministry of Agriculture, they had to breed some in captivity. And then after they bred it in captivity, they let it out into the wild, and now we have a number of them out in the wild. Another one of what makes us uniquely St. Lucian is the way we dress. And I know you're full of swag. That's how you call it now, swag. Well, back then, the people also had swag. Yeah, man, they had swag. If it's joke. When this hair is called a wobble duet, that was the official dress of St. Lucia. And the wobble duet was very floral. And it had the long sleeves and floral there, and you had to pick it up and hold it when you're walking. Yeah, with a long train, and you had to that made it from how many layers, and you had to pick it up and hold it to walk with that. And you wear all your pearls and your large earrings and and what they had on their head was called a tête cassée. Was a headdress. It was made like rounds and rounds, and in front of it there was a pic called a provocation. So that's what they used to wear back then. But then later we modified it because St. Lucia hot. St. Lucia hot, we can't wear all them clothes all the time. So we modified it to make it a little more casual, not skimpy. A little more casual. Yeah, a little more casual. And they call it the madras or the jeep. And you see a lot of that, what we're seeing right now, they're making so many different designs of the madras material. But the original madras or jeep was made with a chemise décolleté, which is a white cotton blouse trimmed with a red ribbon. And the outer skirt was made with madras material. The petticoat was a white undercoat with a red lace interlaced into it. And on the side you have a triangular piece of satin material like a scarf in a triangle shape, and it's pinned to the left shoulder, and the bottom of it is pinned into the waist of the skirt. So that made it very formal. And on the top they would wear what is called a tête en lait. Now the tête en lait isn't just a headdress. The number of peaks the tête en lait had means the woman's status. So if you had one peak, that meant your hat is free. My hat is free. If you have two peaks, my hat is engaged, but you may try. If you have three peaks, my hat is engaged. If you had 4 peaks, it means everyone who tried is welcome.
If one of St. Lucia's, possibly the best violinist, if I should say. Should I say that?
That's up to you.
Up to me?
Yeah, that's up to you to say that. If you want to.
Alright, introduce yourself to Lucian Vybz.
My name is Yannick James.
Alright, so Mr. James is going to be talking to us about him as a violinist. I mean, the face is probably familiar because he's almost like everywhere. Where you see him, he's always with his violin. So tell us, how did you get into playing the violin?
It was a gift for my birthday when I was 10, I think. My brother brought me a gift. My brothers are all musicians, and so he brought me this violin, and he enrolled me in a program with the ministry. At the time, it was underprivileged, students. They gave them a chance to learn an instrument and whatnot. So they enrolled me in the program, and I was in like 1998. So that's where it all started from.
Alright, now the violin is not an instrument I would say that's probably recognized down here. I mean, it's more the trumpet. So, I mean, how did you get that interest into staying and playing the violin?
Yeah, it's something different. I mean, everybody on the island, well, not everybody, but majority of people play the popular instruments like drums, guitar, keyboards, but you don't want to always follow the crowd. You want to be doing something that stands out. And at the time, apart from it being a free program, apart from that, it was something different. So you could either go and follow along with everybody and learn drums and become one of the 50 drummers on Ireland, or stand out with an instrument that's totally different.
But tell us about the violin. Why is the violin so different?
Well, I mean, apart from it being, one of the most world famous instruments, it's a melody instrument, meaning that there has to be the one in the foreground of everything. So I mean, it's not really my personality, but the instrument forces itself into the foreground of everything. So it forces you to give out any hidden, emotion, anything. On stage, I can't really hide anything. Everything's on stage. So that's why I really like it, per se.
Now we have different type of instrument. I can only remember the wind instrument off the top of my head. What category does the violin fall in?
Falls in the category of string instruments because it has strings that held along the body of the instrument to get the sound. So.
All right, now we see you doing a lot of different vibes with the violin. Like sometimes we see you on stage with a rap artist.
Yeah.
How do you get into that whole?
Sometimes. Well, I guess I just play. That's basically what I run. And the artists, I did something with some rappers because they wanted the violin as an aspect in the rap. I didn't want some R&B because it fits into the R&B genre. Then I currently play with Skip Monday, the rock band, so it fits into the rock band genre. So and everybody sees me doing one other different thing. So then they see how it fits into their grouping, and then they contact me and we just work something out.
All right. Well, hopefully you will be the one to make the violin get onto that level. Make it like a popular instrument down in St. Lucia, because I mean it's a change.
Yeah, I mean they're folk instruments already. The folk players, they play, and they made it popular back in that in their time. So, but as the times changed, the youth nobody really listens to folk music anymore. So I love folk music. So I mean that's another point of my interest in playing violin as well. So I love folk music. I like to see that native instrument, stay in the music, whether it be in R&B or rap. Not that I would like to only play one genre, but I just want to see the instrument and instruments of that kind stay in music in St. Lucia, not everything turn into sampling and electronic stuff. I want to see the actual instrument continue going.
And I'm just going to show you a few pictures those pictures are just so special. Those pictures are so special. This picture here shows the flag raising ceremony at 1979. The flag we saw earlier in 1979, since we were under England, the Union Jack, which is the English flag, was what we were using. So in 1979, on the Northern Wharf, there was a ceremony, and at midnight, the Union Jack was taken down, and our own St. Lucian flag was raised. So this is what you see happening there, our flag being raised. Now, in 1979, we had our first sitting of Parliament, because then we had a government of our own, and in a while I'm going to tell you who made up the government. We had a government of our own. The first sitting of Parliament, since the Queen couldn't come herself, because right now we have the first speech by the Governor General who represents the Queen, but the Queen wanted to be there herself, but since she couldn't come, she sent Princess Alexandra, and this is Princess Alexandra delivering the first speech in 1979. And there were rallies and so on. So you see the first Prime Minister, who's Sir John Compton, and the first Governor General, who was Sir Frederick Clark, at the different rallies. Because that was a big celebration. Independence was a big celebration. We're free, we have our birthday party, and you understand. And here we have the signing of the independence instrument, the document that made us independent. This was when it was being signed. You see, we have Sir John Compton and his entourage and the British representative. So they were signing the document that would make us unique, that would make us independent, and then we became known as St. Lucians. Because before we were called British nationals or citizens of Britain or subjects of Britain or whatever. But then we became St. Lucian. When we became independent, Remember I told that associated state they gave us to handle our internal affairs, and Britain was handling our external affairs. When we became independent, Britain said, you run your own country. So we had to have our own government. Our own government, it was made up of Sir Alan Lewis as the Governor General, Sir John Compton, he was the Premier under Associated Statehood, so he became the Prime Minister. We had Honorable George Mallet, he was Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Trade, Industry, Tourism and Statistics. We had Honorable Alan Bousquet as Minister of Education and Health. We had Honorable Geraldine Rock, who was the first female Minister of Government, as the Minister for Housing, Community Development, Social Affairs and Local Government. We had Honorable Clinton Mason, the school is named after him. He was Minister of Communications, Works, Labour and Social Security. We have Honorable Ira Dovey, he was Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries. We had Honorable Hollis Bristol, he was a Parliamentary Secretary to the Prime Minister's Office. We had Honorable Parry Husbands, he was the Attorney General. We have Graham Louisi, he was the Secretary to Cabinet. We had Honorable Wilfred St. Clair Daniel, he died a few weeks ago. Well, he's deceased now. He was a Speaker of the House of Assembly, and he remained the Speaker of the House of Assembly for a long time. And then we have Honorable Alan Louisi, who was the leader of the opposition. So that made up our own government in 1979.
All right, so I guess that's it from the National Archives. Just a brief history there on St. Lucia becoming independent from 1979 until now, 34 years later. Oh, how we've grown. Yes, makes me want to shed a tear. But, I mean, that's then, this is now. I mean, we've gotten so far. I could name a lot of things that we've modernized into. But I guess we continue to grow, and I wish St. Lucia all the best in her years, right? Helen of the Western years? Yeah. In her years to come, and more birthdays and all of those good stuff. I'll bake a cake for you, and you blow out your cake, and
Independence is unlocking our creativity, transforming our world. So St. Lucians will go ahead and unlock the creativity. We saw the creativity in the flag, in the anthem. That was our creativity then, and we have more creativity even now. So we could unlock it, and this creativity will help us transform our world, because people will know that we are St. Lucian. We are here. We're not just a dot on the map. We are here.
And creativity doesn't just stop there. I mean, creativity entails stuff like Lucian Vybz and paintings. We have a lot of paintings up on the wall here. Government administrators and politicians. And we'll be doing maybe another episode on the archives itself, just to tell us what's in the archives, basically. All right, so that was your show today. Lucian Vybz, our Independence episode. We'd like to thank Melissa for her time, and Margot Thomas and all the archive staff who assisted us in doing this. Also, we'd like to send some shout outs to Sean.
Yes, hi brother.
Also Colleen Hippolyte. Yeah, and all those on the page who always support our vibe and whatnot, and everybody else. All right.
Love you very much, Lucian Vybz.
That's right. All right, so that was your episode today. Melissa, thank you very much for your time. Wonderful. Again, the National Archives, if you need any information on our history, how can they?
Well, they can come up to our offices in VG. We're located in VG next to the French Embassy. They can call us at 452-1654 or 453-2519, or they could send us an email at stlunatach, SLUNATARCH_MT@CANDW.LC.
Alright, and if not, you can check us out at lucianvybz@gmail.com to make that link with the National Archives. Alright, your boy Lep Shizzle, Melissa, thank you for being on the show. Until next episode, we're out.